Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So, in today's session, we are going to start with the leftover part from the story A Triumph of Surgery. So, before starting, let us revise what we have gone so far. So, The Triumph of Surgery, the story revolves around a pet dog, Tricky, and because of his overpamperness by his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey, he had to undergo certain of the health situations. He seemed to like a bloated sausage. He became very much fat because of overfeeding. And Another character in the story was Dr. Harriet, and that was the animal doctor. And Dr. Harriet, to recover the illness, to cure Tricky, he took uh, Tricky to his hospital. And when Dr. Harriet was about to leave, in these paragraphs, on the last paragraph that we had read, the maids, the other servants of the house that Mrs. Pumphrey had, they were throwing certain of the outfits and other mattresses and other toys into Dr. Harriet's car. And now, from this paragraph, we are to at the surgery. When Dr. Harriet reached the hospital, surgery, the word surgery over here refers to the hospital, the pet hospital. And when Dr. Harriet finally took Tricky to the hospital, what happened after that we are going to explore. All right, so let's start with the story. Okay, at the surgery, the household dogs surged as your gathered, surged round me. Tricky looked down at the noisy pack with dull eyes, and when put down, lay motionless on the carpet. The other dogs, after sniffing around him for a few seconds, decided he was an uninteresting object and ignored him. And as Dr. Harriet had brought Tricky into the surgery, into the hospital, other dogs, they just gathered around Tricky and Dr. Harriet. But when they tried to meet him, when the other dogs of the house, they wanted to meet him, they started sniffing around Tricky, but Tricky lay there motionless on the carpet and he didn't show any interest. He just was lying over there like an uninteresting object for the other dogs, and so the other dogs ignored him. All right. Next is, I made up a bed for him in a warm loose box next to one where the other dogs slept. For 2 days I kept an eye on him, giving him no food but plenty of water. At the end of the second day he started to show some interest in his surroundings, and on the third day he began to whimper when he heard the other dogs in the yard. All right. And for the comfortable conditions, to make the situations, to make the environment comfortable, uh, Dr. Harriet, he arranged a warm loose box, and where other dogs slept. That was a special treatment, you could say, for Tricky. All right. And on the very first day, Tricky didn't show any interest in the surrounding, but at the end of the second day he started to show some of the interest in the surroundings, and he became to whimper to make small very low noise. And he heard the other dogs in the yard, and as he heard the other noises, the voices of the other dogs in the yard playing, so he started to whimper, he started to make noises as well. When I opened the door, another paragraph I am starting with, when I opened the door, Tricky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe the greyhound. All right, the name Joe is the name of the another dog, and greyhound is the breed. The greyhound and his friends. And on the very second day, when Dr. Harriet opened the door, the Tricky and Dr. Harriet, they both were surrounded by the greyhound and his friends. They were the dogs. Joe was the name of the other dog, in the house at the surgery that who was already in the hospital. After rolling him over, and who is him over here? Him refers to Tricky, and all the dogs they started to roll over and inspect Tricky by rolling him all over and inspecting him. The dogs moved off down the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. And Tricky, because of his surplus overweight, and they started to roll him down. He couldn't help it. Next, later that day, I was present at the feeding time. I watched Tristan. Tristan is the helper at the surgery. Slopped the food into the bowls. There was an unusual headlong rush followed by the sounds of the high speed eating. Every dog knew that if they fell behind, the others will he or she will be liable to have some competition for the last part of the meal. And on the very next day, on the third day, when food was served, there was a usual headlong rush, a stampede among the dogs for the food, because every dog knew that if they ever would be left behind, in that case they would have to uh, they would be liable to have some competition for the last part of the meal. They won't be able to have the meal full on meal that's been served to them. So there was a rush between the among the dogs, sorry. Next is, when they had finished, Tricky took a walk around the shining bowls, licking casually inside one of them. Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him, and I was pleased to see him jostling is struggling his way towards it. And on the very next day, on the fifth or the sixth day of the week, and an extra bowl was put for especially for Tricky, and Dr. Harriet was there, and Tricky could be seen struggling for his bowl, for his part of food that was served to them. From then on, his progress was rapid, and that was the day when his progress started to flourish. There was a progress in his health. He had no medicinal treatment for any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, and no medicinal treatment was given to him at the end of the day, but he had to run about like the other dogs were doing for the whole of the day. Joining in their friendly scrimmages, he discovered the joys of being bowled over, tramped on, and squashed every few minutes. He became an acceptable member of the gang, unlikely the silky little object among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share of meal times and hunting rats in the old house at the night time. He had never such a time ever in his life so far. Now in this paragraph, in these lines that we have gone so far, Dr. Harriet had mentioned, the narrator had mentioned, that how Tricky began to adjust himself in the changed environment. Alright, he became an acceptable member of the gang of the dogs that were already in the surgery and the hospital. All the while, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins, and meanwhile, Mrs. Pumphrey used to call plenty of the times, many of the times, a dozen times, for the latest bulletin, for the latest news about the recovery of the Tricky's health. I dodged the questions whatever or whether his cushions were being turned on regularly, and these were the questions, these were that we are going to read now. These were the questions that Mrs. Pumphrey usually asked when she used to call about Tricky's health, that whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat was worn according to his weather, and I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convulsing rapidly. Convulsing is recovering. The word convulsing seemed to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozen at a time, to build up Tricky's health. Again, this paragraph could also be added how Mrs. Pumphrey used to overfeed, or how Tricky was a over pampered child. Now, what happened when Mrs. Pumphrey used to call couple of times, a dozen of times, at the surgery about the latest bulletins about the news of the Tricky's recovery. And when Dr. Harriet used to tell her that he is convulsing, he is recovering rapidly, and that was the word that she listened. And then she started to bring on again the extra meals, those fresh eggs, dozen at a time. Dozen is about 12, 12 at a single time to build up Tricky strength. And she used to bring on boiled eggs and dozen at one time so that Tricky could gain some more strength. Again, that could be added in the question, that how Tricky was a over pampered child, or you could say a pet of the Mrs. Pumphrey. For a period, my partners and I had two eggs for breakfast, and those eggs that Mrs. Pumphrey used to bring on for Tricky, that used to be served among the Dr. Harriet and his fellows. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn in the household. And the wine Mrs. Pumphrey also used to bring on for Tricky, it was to enrich Tricky's blood. And from the perspective, from the point of view of Mrs. Pumphrey, that wine used to be served to enrich Tricky's bloodline. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with two glasses of wine before and during the meals, and that became quite a meal for the for Dr. Harriet and his companions, his colleagues, because they never used to give Tricky the things that Mrs. Pumphrey used to bring him. They used to feed them to themselves only. We could hardly believe it when brandy is the another name of a drink, came to put a final edge on Tricky's constitution. And finally, they were shocked. They could not believe, they could hardly believe when brandy came in. When Mrs. Pumphrey brought brandy for Tricky. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled, and reverently drunk. And that brandy that was for actually was for Tricky, that served the purpose of Dr. Harriet and his fellow beings. There were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning and improved the sustained by the midday wine, and finishing luxuriously round the fire with the brandy. And that became quite a habit of the colleagues, of the members of the surgery of the hospital, as well as Dr. Harriet. It was a temptation to keep Tricky as a permanent guest, and all the members of the surgery, including Dr. Harriet, that became a temptation for them that they should keep Tricky as a permanent guest, because they were thinking that they will be having those brandies, those wines, and the other eatables as a that luxurious eatables for them. But I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering, and later fought after a fortnight felt compelled to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and awaiting collection. But Dr. Harriet, he was quite a man, and he knew that Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering. He couldn't bear the pain, the grief of departing from Tricky. So after a fortnight, after about 15 to 16 days, he called Mrs. Pumphrey and told her about, and he explored the news to Mrs. Pumphrey about the recovery of Tricky. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal drew, black metal that refers to the outlook of a car in which Mrs. Pumphrey came to the surgery. Drew up the outside the surgery. Surgery, again I am telling you, uh, that's not surgery, that's not operation if you are perceiving it. That's the surgery is mentioned over here for the word hospital, the pet vet hospital that we call animal hospitals. The chauffeur, who is a chauffeur? Servant, you could call it a servant. The chauffeur opened the door for Mrs. Pumphrey, and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey almost in the dark interior of the car. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her, her lips were trembling. Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is he really better now? And As Dr. Harriet called Mrs. Pumphrey about the recovery of Tricky, after a while long, a black car, shining black car, a gleaming white car appeared at the door of the surgery to fetch Tricky, and inside that car, Mrs. Pumphrey was sitting, and she asked Dr. Harriet to tell her the truth if Tricky was really doing well, if he was really better. Yes, he is fine. There's no need for you to get out of the car. I'll fetch it for you. And Dr. Harriet told Mrs. Pumphrey that no need to, you do not need to get out of the car. I'll just bring Tricky to you. I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling round and round the lawn, and there amidst, what's the meaning of midst? In the very middle. And there amidst, ears flapping, tail waving, and his little golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks he had been transformed into a lithe is muscular, hard muscled animal. He was keeping well as with the pack. What pack? Pack of the dogs, group of the dogs, stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. So, after a fortnight, in this paragraph that we have gone about the recovery, about the health, how he looked, how Tricky looked after a fortnight. He looked muscular, he looked much more healthier. I carried him back along the passage in the front door of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the door of the car wide open, and Tricky saw his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey. He took from my arms in a tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. And as Mr. Harriet was bringing on Tricky through the front door, as Tricky saw Mrs. Pumphrey, he just jumped out from the arms of Dr. Harriet and leapt out and sailed into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. She gave a startled "Oh," and then had to defend herself as a swan over her, licking her face and barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring on the other equipments, other beds, toys, cushions, coats, and bowls, whatever was provided to Tricky at the surgery, none of which had been used. And meanwhile, when Mrs. Pumphrey was busy with Tricky, Dr. Harriet, along with the chauffeur, along with the servant of Mrs. Pumphrey, he helped him bringing out the possessions, the beds, the toys, the cushions, and many other things from inside the surgery that's been there for the comfort of Tricky, but has never been used in those days, in that fortnight. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes, her lips trembled, and she said, "Oh, Mr. Harriet," she cried, "how can I thank you? This is quite a triumph of surgery." And as the car started to roll down, Mrs. Pumphrey just leapt out of the window of the car, and she said that it was quite a surgery, that was a triumph of surgery, that was a victory of over the surgery. And that's how she thanked Dr. Harriet. Alright, so that was the story. I hope that was clear to you. So, see you in the next session. Till then, stay safe. Alright, have a nice day. Thank you.